Okay, everybody, this is E. Marcel, producer of Sports Inquirer, and happy to be joined by Grace Kiser, a women's soccer player for Georgia State. The team is off to a 4-1 start, if I have that correctly. Yes. How has the season been going, and what have been some of the key factors in the team's strong start?
I think the season's been going really well, obviously, since our record has been. I think we've won a lot of games, not necessarily in the first half. I think just similar to last season, that our ability to fight through things and figure things out as a team together is really impressive. So I think no matter what the game is, just figuring out how we're going to win is a really big strong suit of ours. So I think that is a lot of our success.
Yeah, and probably your top win to date was a 2-1 overtime victory over Kennesaw State on September 3rd. Before we get to your game-winning goal in overtime, you outshot Kennesaw State 11-5 in the first half, and but it was still scoreless. And with the interview with the coach Joyce, he said the team stuck to its game plan and kept it going. What was that game plan, and what did the team do just to keep going and eventually come out with a win?
Well, it's actually funny because our specific game plan is we had small goals set for us, either individually as players or as the team for that game specifically. And one of the goals was to have 10 goals or 10 shots on goal a half. So we had exactly 10 after the first half and exactly 20 after the game. So I think us having those small goals and working towards them and realizing that one of the most important parts of the game is just testing the keeper and getting the balls towards the goal and in frame and up in that area is very important. So I think us setting goals for ourselves and that things that we can track, at least something like shots, is really good for us.
Yeah, and you scored a game winner in the 98th minute off of a corner. Oh, you just headed the ball in. What went into that attempt? Was that strategically? Did you know where to go? And what did it feel like to get the game winner against a big rival like Kennesaw State?
It was pretty fun. As a forward, you always love to score goals, but more specifically, goals that, especially the game-winning goal, you get a lot of fun. I've also never done that in a college game, so that was pretty exciting for me. We've also practiced our set pieces a lot, so that was something that we strategically had planned out. And we obviously got really good service in from Grayson. She did great, and everyone was doing their part and working hard. So it was really exciting, especially because we had fought so hard that game that we came back and ended up winning.
Yeah, and you were able to defeat Mississippi Valley State 4-0 on September 5th. You didn't score in that contest, but that was a high mark as far as goals go. You had several players contribute, including Maddie Johnston and several freshmen
Mhm.
getting their first goals. What about the offense and what's been clicking so well on that side of the field for the team?
We've honestly just been doing a lot of crossing, finishing, getting our set style of play. We have a very athletic forward, a very athletic front line, especially with our freshmen. We've been having a lot of them step to the plate and do their job and do it really well. Brooklyn just got Georgia State Athlete of the Week and
Mhm.
so her Sun Belt Player of the Week. So that was really exciting for her. And then we have Bree Barley that also plays a lot up front, and Maddie, and everyone just contributes their part. And I think a lot of that goes into we do work hard at practice. A big goal of ours is to take as many shots as possible, is to be getting forward, is to be taking people on. And I think that attitude that we have as forwards or as attacking players in general was really helpful for us and it turns over a lot in the game.
What about you as an upperclassman helping these younger players get acclimated to the game? And you're used to that because you transferred into the program from Elon. And we'll get to that in a moment. But what about these younger players and getting them adjusted to Georgia State?
I just think always positive reinforcement is best. Um, just always making sure you're telling them good job or keep going. And sometimes you need a little honesty, like keep it up, let's go. But I think that being there and just talking to them and having that pathway of conversation is really good to have with them because then they trust you and you trust them. And I think us as a team, we really brought them in well. And I think that's very helpful is they feel part of the team and they feel like we believe in them, then they do even better. So I think that we've done really well with that.
What about you individually? How was the off season? Your first, well, actually, it's your second, I guess, off season with Georgia State, but your first time, I guess, not working, but transferring in and not knowing too many things. How was this off season for you and just the beginning of the year now that you're not the just transfer student anymore?
It's been great. Like I said, I think we have a great team environment. So everyone kind of eventually finds their place, finds their people. But it's just been good to be back. Off season wise, we had a really, really good spring. It was a little hard because we didn't have any games. So when you're practicing 5, 6 days a week, not necessarily having a game to look for. We did have inter-squad scrimmages, but just not necessarily having another opponent to look for. It can be difficult, but we tackled the spring. I think even in the weight room, it was really impressive how much everyone went up and how hard we worked. And I think that directly carried over into the start of preseason. We got off to a good start, and now we're 4-1. So everything's been going so good so far. So hopefully it stays up there.
Yeah, and do you think the start's also one of the factors in the good start has been your new home facility, being able to play in downtown Atlanta in front of the fans, and you're a Georgian, so you know how big that is just to be in that part of the state. What's that been like for you and the team with this new facility and being able to win some matches there?
It is awesome. It's so not like when we went over Kennesaw, it was a night game and we had the skyline in the back, and it was just a really cool atmosphere. And our stadium doesn't necessarily look like it holds a lot of people, but it does, and a lot of people come out and support us, and it's a really fun environment, especially just being in the middle of everything. And then on top of that, we have, as well as new facility that everyone sees, like our new things in the locker room, our new weight room stuff, everything like that is just so awesome. So it's been a lot of fun to play here because there is a lot of cool benefits that you get other than just the soccer itself, which is still amazing.
Yeah, and then you face Furman this upcoming weekend. Probably a toughest match on paper to date before you get into conference play. You mentioned, well, we talked off camera, you practiced earlier today. How's that going? What's the team working on to just sharpen up and get better at as you prepare for Sunbelt play?
We're just excited to play them. We obviously always love playing a competitive group. And I think us as a style, we're really good soccer players, as in the sense that we have a plan and we stick to it technically. But I think our biggest thing is just having that confidence to go at people, and to be confident in ourselves and our touch. But I think that's what we do in and out. So this week's really no different. We're just preparing for conference and preparing for Furman just like we always do. And I'm really excited to see how the game goes.
All right, Grace, we appreciate the time. Thanks for speaking with us and good luck
Thank you
this
so
weekend.
much.